welcome back to All Things Black. I'm right here.
Hello, it's Ebony.
Okay, so Ebony, did you want to tell them anything about yourself?
Okay, so I do YouTube videos. I currently work 3 jobs, so I'm trying to be more consistent on YouTube, but I do have a channel. If you just look up Ebony Dawson, EBANI, the rest Dawson. Um, yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now in
All
life.
right, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead. So me and Ebony, all right, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. So, our first question is, what does the word colorism mean to you?
So colorism for me, I feel like it's tailored more towards people with darker skin.
Mhm.
Um, just like discrimination against someone with a darker skin tone. Um, Honestly, interestingly enough, like when I was like looking it up last night, because I did want to have like a kind of like a dictionary
Right.
term just to clarify if like my idea of colorism was correct. So it surely enough, it kind of was geared more towards darker skin.
Yeah,
It
it
was
is.
interesting.
All right. So our next question is, what do you think are some examples of colorism?
Oh, well, colors. Okay, this is funny. Um, Not funny, but
No, I got triggered.
I got so many examples. It's not even crazy. So, recently, like I said, as I was watching Loho, like what is it in North Africa? It was in North Africa or something. Um, there was this teacher. She was white. She was white. I'm just say that. And the girl basically usually wears her hair braided up, and she didn't feel like braiding her hair that night because if you are a black girl, it will take you hours. Like you need to set a day aside, which is it's crazy because you literally have to take a day off work. You have to take a day off of socializing to do your hair. You have to be focused. People will hit me one day and be like, Ebony, you have not responded to any of your texts. I'm like, honey, I'm doing my hair. Do you see it? Do you see it? I'm a black girl. Do you see the melanin? Do you see the 14 hair? And you have to tame it, literally. And so she didn't do that, and she just put it up in a ponytail. She had nice hair, just like how you have, but hers was more like spread out,
Okay, girl,
up.
this is a little piece though, but thank you.
Yeah, just like yours though. And she just had it like there, and they telling her that it's not appropriate for class and it's distracting. That is a perfect example of colorism because let somebody with more relaxed hair throw their hair in a bun. Oh, that's fine for school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, first of all, hold on. We in North Africa. In Africa, you can't even wear your hair. That is so crazy to me. That blows my mind.
Yeah, like it's where we come from. You can't even
Hmm.
be black there.
And people tell me that it's just real bad, like in Africa, as far as like colorism, like it's even worse. Like I'm like, dang, that would never fly over here because if you tell a black girl, she can't wear her 4C hair or an afro, you're going to be on the 5 o'clock news. You're going to be on 9 o'clock news. You're going to be on 12 o'clock. You're going to be on every hour the for just like the ignorance for real. Like you're going to be on the news. This is
Yeah,
going on the news, and it was on the news in North Africa. It was on the news. And tell me why the this is a perfect example of black men not spending like sticking up for black women because the principal, he was a black man, and he over here looking stupid at the camera, like, yeah, I'm gonna investigate the situation. What is there to investigate? She's wearing her natural hair. It should have been a simple go to class.
right, right.
You're fine. Honestly, this teacher should have been reprimanded to me
Yeah,
because that's unprofessional. That's not nice. Period. That's not nice.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
rude. So yeah, that's like one of the main things too. Like, God forbid you be like black at all and wear your natural hair and be dark skinned and wearing your natural hair. It's just no, you can't do it.
Yeah. You can't be both.
Yep. So
Yeah,
that's my main example. For colorism in general, like not being able to wear your natural hair,
right.
just don't be black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go on. Why do you believe people have negative attitudes about dark skin?
Um, my whole thing is that it's just mainly stemming from racism
Yeah.
all the way back then. Like, it's just people are just not letting it go.
No.
So I just feel like it's just mainly just because of racism, because racism is not gone. People still thinking the same way. People was raised the same way that their ancestors was raised, and then they just can't let it go.
I completely agree.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
people just can't let it go for some reason. It's like, okay, so it's like your whole life you it's like your whole life. Let me think of something. Your whole life, all you brought was Nikes, and all your family members from back then brought Nikes. Maybe even your family own Nikes. All you gonna know is Nikes, and then everything else gonna be ugly to you.
Mm.
Or it's just like it's just so deeply rooted that
Mhm. Mhm.
it's just everything else don't even look right, don't sound right. It's just like how the way I grew up, people being hateful towards dark skin is just it's always gonna blow my mind because that's not how I grew up.
Right.
That's just like dark skin not being pretty to some people blows like the fact that some people think it's pretty blows other people's minds. People thinking it's not pretty blows my mind. I'm just like, okay, I
Right.
digress. I digress.
Right. So
But yeah, it's just too much of a norm for people, I guess.
yeah, they
Yeah.
pass it down.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, it's just ingrained. It's not gonna.
It's
Yeah.
ingrained.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like people are less comfortable with speaking out about it. Like, oh, I
They
don't like this.
are.
And that's good. You should be uncomfortable. You should be uncomfortable. I'm glad you're uncomfortable because it could get even worse if you decide you want to get comfortable and say something.
Yeah. So you feel like people aren't comfortable saying that out loud, or they are?
I feel like people are less comfortable these days trying to say something racist because it's really like, oh, because honestly, like I feel like if let's say you're in a room full of 25 people, most of those
Mhm.
people are not going to agree with what that person is saying, especially in this day and age.
I would argue though that being openly colorist is actually pretty. I think it's more accepted.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's acceptable. I feel like people would have a public conversation disparaging. Um,
And I think that's starting to disintegrate too. I do agree that people still try it, but I feel like the dark skinned community has been like, hold on, pause,
yeah.
pause. Okay, I know you have other questions, but just because you slap the word preference on it doesn't mean it's not colorist. People slap that on like,
Hey, say that
hold
loud
on,
in the
they
back.
slap on the word preference like people slap Drake on a feature to make it fire.
Please say that loud for the
Period.
back.
People slap preference at the end of a sentence just like you slap Drake on the album if you need a come up. Period.
Oh,
People slap preference on on the sentence like it's like some salt and pepper. They
no.
throw it on there.
They, they
They
do.
throw it on there, and it be killing me every time. I'm like the ignorance. Like I
No.
literally have to walk away from conversations because I just really be like, oh, you that type of person, and I just gotta walk away because I don't got time. Because those people, you just can't get it through their head because they think they got it out.
They do. Like,
They
I've seen videos where a guy's been like, um, I like lighter girls because they're prettier, but that's just my preference,
yeah.
sweetie. That's called colorism. That's not just your preference. Like,
And if you're a
preference.
black man, it's self hate with it.
Okay, talk about it.
Period. Like we can talk.
Preference is I like a girl that has a job. I like a girl that has a cell phone. I like a girl that can pay her cell phone bill. Okay, those are
That's
preferences.
a healthier preference. The fact that you are just cutting off a whole skin tone is
Exactly.
just insane to me.
Exactly.
Honestly, me, okay, so the thing about preference is, okay, I can understand people like saying, okay, I prefer like a darker skin tone. I prefer somebody with more fair skin tone. I get that, but you know, people say it in like very like nasty ways with
They
it. Like
do.
they'll
They can
add
never
something
just
on
say.
it.
They can never just say I like. They can
Yeah.
never say I like light skinned girls. I like light skinned girls because black girls is ugly and loud and they got. It's never.
That's literally what they say. Now,
Yeah.
if somebody
It's
says, I prefer lighter skin tone because that's just what I'm attracted to, fine. Fine. I'm not going to argue with you because that is completely fine to say. But you're not going to sit here and do is, oh, I like light skinned women because they are easy to deal with. Their hair is
exactly.
prettier.
Exactly.
They're racially ambiguous. That's what you might as well say. I like
Right.
light skinned women because they're racially ambiguous. Or I like white women because they don't give me the problems that black women do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
I just don't
Exactly.
accept it.
No, I completely agree. It's the what's attached to it because it's never just the preference.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a colorist reason behind the preference.
Yeah,
So
and people are in such a denial.
they are. Yeah. They are. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So our next question is, um, what role do you believe traditional media plays in um promoting colorist stereotypes?
Um, hmm. Well, I say like okay, so nowadays is I feel like they're promoting dark skin a little bit more just because it's cool to do. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's dark skin. Let me just repost this real quick because it's a like thick, dark skin, perfect body woman. Um, I feel like honestly, I think media has kind of like made a more positive turn, even though like most people wouldn't agree with that. But I kind of agree with that because people are seeing dark skinned women in a new light. Because honestly, on these TV shows, on like back in the day when I used to watch TV shows, like they wouldn't even cast the most attractive looking dark skinned women. And I'm not saying that there's not beauty to everybody, but when somebody is just like every skin tone has some busted looking people, and I'm gonna say it. I said what I said. Every skin tone has some busted looking people, not the
Mm-hmm.
prettiest people. It's okay if you are not the shiniest crayon in the box. It's
Right.
okay. But they always have done us dirty with these roles. If it's not the looks, it's the personality. It's a trash personality. It's some
Mm-hmm.
jealousy that they put into the dark skin character. They
Yep.
always make us the dark. They always make us the jealous one. They
Yep.
always make us the ugly one. Like, bruh, there is some dark skinned women that will literally just steal the entire room,
Mm-hmm.
and there'll be a whole bunch of fair skinned people in it.
Right.
There'll be
Right.
light skinned, there'll be white people, there'll be whatever fair skinned person you want to put next to them.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
There's just some that you just can't compete with. Period. Like there just is. And if you put them in the same television show as some of these other mediocre fair skinned people,
Mm-hmm.
there would just be a problem.
Right.
Y'all just wouldn't be able to handle it. The fair skin community would literally faint. They'd be shaking. They'd be shaking like this is unacceptable. We've been at the top our whole life. And the thing is like, yeah, like I feel like it's kind of made a better impact because like we coming out the shadows, we coming out the shadows. Like they're like, whoa, so there really is pretty dark skinned women. I'm like, y'all just been blind. Y'all just
Right.
been blind this whole time. It's just because the dark skinned community has been doing a good job for sticking up for themselves. There's so many times where dark skins just accept defeat in the past, but it's a new generation, baby. We don't just be accepting defeat. There's so many things that you can't tell this generation. I can't even talk.
I got you. I know
Generation.
what you mean. Yeah.
There's so many things you can't tell this generation. You can't even. First of all, we live in a day and age where Trump can't even come to Chicago because he's scared. You can't tell this generation nothing.
Okay, so you think that they're doing a better job now
Yeah,
overall?
but also I feel like it's good and bad because when they do display the dark skins, they display like the overly like Instagram baddie model looking dark skins. But if you ask me, most dark skins look just amazing to me. I don't know why, but they just
Yeah.
do. But they do kind of like, oh, it's like the perfect curvy like dark skin.
No, I see what you're saying.
So it can kind of mess up people's like head because then they'll go after the perfectly curvy dark skin
Mm-hmm.
with like, they'll do the dark skin with the perfect skin. Like not all of us have perfect skin.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So
But yeah, so it just creates a standard.
No, I definitely so it's like so I think it has gotten better. I still
Mm-hmm.
think that they're I still think that they're like traditional roles that they do put dark skinned women in. I feel like it's always the background role sometimes. Well, I
It's
mean,
still
I
the
say
background.
always.
No, definitely.
I feel like it's sometimes, a lot of the times, it's the background role, or I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's a particular stereotypical role, like it's the Pam and Gina type of situation, opposite type of thing. So I feel like sometimes it's still
It's
certain,
still like
yeah, that they put dark skinned women in, and certain roles they that,
we're literally a shadow. Like I know we're dark, but we're not literally shadows.
right. No, I agree. I agree. Yeah. So I feel like the media definitely does, you know, I feel like it's gotten better, but I still think it's a problem. And to your point about only the like best, I guess you could say only the best dark skinned women are can be in like movies. I was thinking about this. Oh, so it's Kanye West. He has a verse in one of his songs, and he's like, "We got the light skinned women and the Kelly Rowlands." So all light skinned women are the standard of beauty, but for dark skinned women, it's Kelly Rowland or nothing else. Because why
Mm-hmm.
do you say light skinned women, but then say Kelly Rowland? Why do you say we have the light skinned women and we have the dark skinned women? But by doing that, he made the standard, Kelly Rowland. So if you're a dark skinned woman, you have to be the Kelly Rowland type.
Then like I feel like yeah, black people. I mean, I guess they don't get married as much as they used to, or it'll be like a failing marriage. But I feel like every group has like very high rates of failing marriage. Marriage just as a whole has been like very like not good, like just not good. So I feel like yeah, I guess it is more uncommon for like black people to get married because just like we just got a lot going on. People have babies before they, get married and then they just say forget marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm kind of on the edge with that because I feel like everybody's marriage be failing these days. So because I just feel like marriage is just like
I
don't
don't
get
know
me
what
wrong. I want to get married, and I'm probably gonna marry a black man. Probably, I want some chocolate babies. But that's not going to stop me from maybe marrying somebody with a lighter skin complexion. I don't really care. I don't
right.
care at the end of the day. But I do like black love. That's the thing, though. I like black love because we understand each other's struggle. And that's just what you sometimes won't get with other relationships with, somebody with a different race. Just like people, like Hispanic people understand other Hispanic people's struggles, black
Mm-hmm.
people understand other black people's struggles. And honestly, like we were talking about with the media and like the how like what was the word that I was trying to use it, how it's institutionalized or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they want black people to not stick together, they want black people to stop getting married, they want black people to stop having babies together, they don't want to see dark babies no more.
Yeah.
And that's what just really that's how people be like, oh, we're so divided as a race. Well, start having dark skinned babies, okay, and maybe it'll be more of a just more unity or whatever. But I'm not saying like force yourself to have a dark skinned baby. If you're not in love with the dark skinned woman and you want a lighter skin complexion because that's just who you genuinely love, I'd say go for it. But can you hear me? I'd say go for it. But other than that, like yeah, I do really like black love though, because like I said, we really understand the struggle of just being black.
Yeah. The point you made about babies, though, there are a lot of people who will openly say that they don't want a dark skinned baby. They don't want a
Which is insane to me. Like just that's just so insane to me.
Yeah, me too. A baby.
A
So,
baby.
okay, so my next question is, how do you believe that gender intersects with colorism?
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, but like of course like dark skinned males are more sought after.
Right.
Dark skinned women aren't appealing.
Right.
But like I said, that's kind of like low key. I mean, I'm not saying colorism is like completely gone or racism is ending, but that's starting. It's starting to be over for the fair complexion, because dark skins. This is the time for us to finally get some type of like acknowledgement, because we haven't even had acknowledgement.
Yeah.
So I feel like people are finally seeing that like dark skin is pretty, dark is beautiful. Period.
Right.
So honestly, I mean, growing up, I was only the dark skinned person in like my class or whatever. I had um, a few black other classmates or whatever when I was in private school, like middle school and stuff like that. And I didn't feel threatened because that's just not how I grew up. I did. Every dark skin at some point, every dark skin female, I feel like has felt like, oh, maybe my skin isn't pretty. I feel like people once in your life you probably felt that, unless you just had the most amazing come up, unless you just never ever had a pretty dark skin friend that always got like a lot of attention. You felt some type of like, why don't people like me in my skin tone?
Hmm.
I felt that growing up. Don't get me wrong, but it's starting to fade away because I'm gonna give you an example. So I was with one of my lighter skinned friends that I had grew up with,
Hmm.
and we were out one day and she wasn't getting all attention. It was me. So that's how I knew, wow, something's in the water, something's in the media, something is just different. And I think it's because y'all are starting to look at everything just in the skin tone. They're like, her face is really pretty, and her hair was so pretty, and her outfit is good, and they looking at everything besides just the skin tone. Because back in the day, if you were light skinned, you could have the most busted outfit on. Your hair could be bogus, but you would still pull more guys than a dark skinned woman,
Hmm.
and that's on period.
Yeah.
But these days, nah, you actually got to be cute. Cause people know, people getting more woke with that. Like, nah, actually, I kind of want your chocolate friend right there. But yeah, and I don't want to say it's like a competition, but
Oh, I don't think you meant it
I
like.
just I just appreciate that it's more based off of overall than just the skin tone.
Yeah.
If you think the light skinned girl is more pretty, that's fine. You might be right too. But there has been dark skinned girls who have genuinely been more pretty
Right.
than a light skinned girl next to her. And
Yeah.
then people be like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty," and it's just like, bro, like y'all sick,
Yeah.
y'all sick.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I feel like dark skinned men do have it easier than a dark skinned woman. Period.
Yeah, they do.
Because the white women want our dark skinned men. Europeans like um Hispanics, they want our dark skinned men. Period. They don't be looking for the light skinned men. I be feeling sorry for the light skinned men. They just get brushed over. They
People,
just, bruh,
they get slept on too.
they get slept on. I be feeling sorry for them. I'm like, dang, bro, I feel you though. I really feel you though. But they used to be, they had their time though in the like early 2000s.
They
They
did.
had their time. Everybody wanted them a light skin, but everybody has wanted them dark skin back in the day too. But they were sought after. But dark skins, we just now, it's 2019. We just now getting our time.
Yeah.
Just now,
Yeah.
cause y'all got bored. All the other crayons in the box got dull, and now y'all want a dark skin.
No, to point on that, so I'm doing a study on like YouTube videos. You know the little videos they have light skin versus dark skin. Those videos.
Yes.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing a study on them. So
That's crazy.
yeah, I know. Most of the people who say like, "Oh, I prefer dark skin," you ask them why. Oh, because light skin. It's never like I prefer dark skins because they're beautiful, or I prefer dark skins because they're so and so. Whatever. It's I prefer dark skins because light skins are overrated, or light skins are they think they all that, or like so. It's never anything of
It's never a genuinely like. It's just
it's,
never a genuine like.
it's second the second choice. It's
It's
not.
like, you know what? There was just too many relationships with like a light skin. I just want to be different and
Yeah,
give me another box. Yeah.
exactly, exactly, exactly. It's not just. I like dark skinned women
You
because
just fine. Like you
yeah,
just fine. And I like you.
when you hear the people who say I like light skins, their response is they're just pretty. Now the response of dark skins like because light skins think they all that. Okay, why do you dark skins, sweetie? I did not ask you.
Saying about light skins.
Like, why does your answer to why you like dark skins have to still be about skins? Come on, make it clear.
We still can't have.
Yeah, no, it's no moment. So yeah, okay, okay. So then we got a few more questions. Um, so do you believe that colorism is institutionalized, such as like does it affect jobs, economic status, um, um, like who's yeah? Is
Wait, so you said does? Yeah, I mean it depends on what type of dark skin you are because at one of my jobs I work in the cosmetic section and she is dark skin, which I appreciate, but she's a very like clean, like not that like people aren't clean, but I'm like, very like I don't want to use the word plain because she's not plain. She's clean is what I mean, like very like structured and like um how do I say this? You know how some black girls have like their personality is like very like I don't know, like just very like not ghetto because people try to label black girls ghetto all the time just because they have like an extra little like they speak with their hands, they be like all of this. Like my boss isn't like that. She's just very like subtle and you know, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Does it make sense? Like how I'm trying to explain it?
so are you saying
Like you have to be a certain type of way to be in those powers of position if you're a black woman. You can't be how a black woman acts. Like, you know how like I don't know. It's not ghetto, but like you know how just black girls we're just extra sometimes. Like we're just very extra sometimes.
black
And
girl?
it's not necessarily like over the top. It could still be in a professional way, but like, we just be like sometimes like I don't know. But what I'm basically trying to say is like sometimes you'll get
Are you
you
referring
said
to
what?
dark skinned black girls or black girls in general?
Dark skin, well, black girls are like, just how black girls are. But I guess it would be kind of unprofessional to be like very like, all over the place. Like if you're telling somebody something, well, you gotta move that, da 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 da. Like, black girls are stern in a different type of way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're very like I don't know, like people like in comedy like skits, people try to like um they kind of like imitate black women in comedy skits. So in more in that type of way when we're being stern, like and everybody hates Chris, kind of like how Rochelle was. She
Yeah.
was very like she was like I will slap you back into next week if you don't. Not saying that like that's how people will be at work, but like you have to literally be like almost like white to be in a power position,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. Like you gotta have like the you almost gotta have some weave in your head. But my boss, she's very natural too. Like she wears her natural hair, which I appreciate. Like I just appreciate that there's a dark skinned woman and she doesn't really have to change herself all that much. She's very professional and she's still real. Like she's still like a real black woman. She doesn't you know how people say like, oh, she acts like she's white or whatever. Nah, like I don't get that vibe from her at all. So I do feel like it's kind of like it's a hit or miss really. Some establishments really do like accept dark skinned women how they are, and some just don't. Like you got to be a completely different person to get that role. And I feel like the things that happen with us, the sisters, that's a real thing, honestly. Or they could be trying to hire a black woman to meet their quota because when like the section I work in, the cosmetic section, sometimes you have to have a dark skinned woman because some dark skins all they want to see is a dark skin in the in the beauty section. That's
Mm-hmm.
all they want to see because to meet the quota, sometimes businesses have a quota where they need a dark skin, they need somebody white, they need somebody Hispanic to have a variety of people there so nobody can say that they're racist. So, to say
Yeah.
that their establishment is racist. So they'll sprinkle a dark skinned person in there. They'll sprinkle somebody who's maybe, Mexican or light skinned in there. So companies will do that sometimes. It really depends, but I do feel like they definitely do be stiff in the money. They be paying you less. It's less respectful for you.
Mhm.
It's just crazy. Like on YouTube, sometimes people will go on business trips to promote a brand, and the white YouTubers will get paid more than the black YouTubers, which is so insane to me. And they'll be on the same trip doing the same thing, promoting the same product. So they definitely do that all the time. They still do that to this day. But you just honestly, you can't get away with stuff like this these days because people talk too much. People
Yeah.
talk too much. See, I shouldn't even have known about what I just told you. Like I shouldn't. There's no way I shouldn't. Y'all clearly are not good at it because it's just not flying these days. So I feel like it's definitely a change with that because your business will go up into flames if somebody gets a hold of that information that you black women the same amount or you're not hiring black women like Fashion Nova. The fact that their products are tailored for black women and they barely have black women on their page, like they target audience be black women. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they first came out, guess who was going to the club with y'all products? Black women.
Yeah, that's true. No, I don't. Most people I know who use Fashion Nova are black.
And honestly, all of that stuff that they be making, Rainbow used to sell stuff like that. All the like low key like black stores that were in the hood had made those things, and y'all just remaking them, maybe making them a little bit less cheap looking,
Mhm.
but basically
Same
that's
thing.
who y'all taking it from. Y'all taking a lot of fashion from these stores y'all used to make fun of. Y'all take Don't get me started on the hairstyles people be doing on Instagram because that's mainly black women. That's mainly black women, and y'all used to make fun of us when we was younger for it, and now y'all as grown women want to do it.
Especially the braids.
Especially the braids. Number one, when we used to have those balls in our head, now y'all want to do that shit as a
Oh
grown
yeah.
woman. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm cursing, but like,
No, you
it's
okay?
just like, it's just like, now y'all want to do all this as a grown woman, and y'all used to make fun of us for this when we were younger. It blows my mind every time, and it's just like y'all want to think y'all so original, but bruh, I got photos in my house of me wearing that when I was young.
Yeah.
But you so original. You came up with this first. Like it blows my mind. It's not cool until somebody with a fair complexion does it.
Yeah.
Period.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of stuff that our trends when they use them, it's cool now, or they make a different name and then they go in the magazine.
And it's cool.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I have. All right. So, what are some of your personal experiences with colorism, if
Oh,
you have any?
number one, almost every dark skinned woman has had this. You are pretty for a dark skinned woman,
Yeah.
sir, 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 or ma'am. If that is your way of complimenting me, it's just, it's just offensive.
Compliment.
It's just don't talk to me. If that's your definition of a compliment to a dark skinned woman, bro, I need to take you to church. I don't know what I need to do for you, but you just got to get up out my face. I just know that much. And you know what? Another thing, this kind of coincides with how people compliment dark skinned women or black women in general.
Yeah.
Oh, I like your hair. Is that your hair? Do you tell a white woman, oh, I like your hair? Yeah, people need to treat dark skinned people like we're regular people because y'all really be acting like we some aliens out here. They be like, oh my God, like, how do you have your hair stand up like that? Like, bruh, give your compliment and go. Give your compliment and go. Okay? Give your compliment and go because anything you say following that or before that is just going to be offensive. It was like what makes you so comfortable and so entitled to what I got going on where you can't just give your compliment and go.
Yeah. Do you
And so
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What'd you say?
Well,
I kind of forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, I basically was just gonna ask you, do you feel like sometimes it's hard for people to compliment dark skinned women without mentioning their skin? Like they can't say you're pretty. They have to say you're which is not necessarily offensive, but
Mm-hmm.
it's sometimes they have to say, oh, she's a pretty dark skinned girl, or oh, she's a pretty brown. Like, is there no way to just say
She's
somebody?
a really pretty girl.
Yeah, yeah. Do you feel like sometimes it's hard for people to compliment, I guess, brown and dark skinned women without mentioning skin?
Definitely, definitely. And it's just like it's kind of like they have a fetish for you, so it's just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah,
It's more of a fetish more than like, oh yeah, she's pretty, so I need to talk to her. But that's just going back to the divide that was created. It's just a divide that was created. I don't know if that's ever gonna really go away. People just complimenting your skin tone because honestly, when you think about it, skin tone is not a magnificent thing to compliment.
it's
Skin
not.
tone is what you are born with.
It's not. I didn't
You
earn this.
don't go around complimenting people on how pale they skin
Yes,
is.
that's a really good point. I did not earn this, so it's no need to
Yeah.
compliment it. It's not something
And
that
it's sad that people be like, "Oh my gosh, she is so chocolate." I mean, I say that too, but that's because it's because it's like it's just so it's just to the point to where it's like dark skinned women have been taught so much that their skin is not pretty. So when other dark skinned women say that to each other, we say that as like, yeah, we on the same wavelength. Like, yeah. When I say it, it'd be more like, yeah, I'm here with you. Even though other people think your skin not pretty, I do too. But when like people of like lighter skin tone say it, it just really just be like, bro.
yeah, it definitely it definitely depends on where it's coming from. I mean,
Yeah,
it definitely depends on where it's coming from because
it does.
people
Yeah.
say like,
It's
but
like it's weird.
yeah, it definitely depends on where it's coming from because some cases you can be like, okay, like I don't
Yeah.
need this compliment, and it's a you know how to use a food item to describe it coming from certain
Yeah.
people. Now
Yeah.
I definitely get what you're saying from that. It really depends on who you're talking to, on how you feel about what they what they say.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't get me too mad, but it really depends on how you say it too. It really depends on how you say it. Like, oh, I love me a dark skinned women. I don't know because I really don't get mad at it, but it's just it's certain people. It's just certain people that you really just gotta be like, girl, I know you're not out here trying to get dark skinned women left and right. You just being weird.
Exactly.
You just being weird.
It just honestly, it really just depends. It's like some
I know what you're talking about though, because there's some situational things.
yeah.
There's some situational things.
Sometimes it's just like makes you like I one time I was with somebody and they like FaceTime somebody. This was their first time meeting me, and then they like kind of flashed me to the camera and they're like, "Oh, she's pretty. I love me a pretty dark skinned woman." And I don't know why, but I was like, it kind of made me cringe because I was
You
like,
cringe, yeah.
why was that necessary? Like you could have just said I was pretty.
I love me a pretty girl.
Yeah,
Like,
like I just some people will say, "Oh, that's because you care about your tone, whatever," and it's not that. I just think it's just not
I'm
necessary.
more than my skin tone.
It's not necessary. Say I'm like get to know me and compliment on like being I don't know smart or funny or something like that.
Yeah.
Something I actually or my personality, something I had to work for or work on, whatever. Just to say that, I just don't think it's necessary. That's my point of view. I don't think like in skin
It's
or
not anything special because when you compliment a like lighter person of a lighter skin tone, you compliment something on them, not their skin tone.
yeah,
But you
right.
know what? Also, if you look at it in a different light, it's more of like, wow, like your skin tone is just so pretty because nobody's skin tone shines like a dark skinned person's skin tone.
Yeah.
So you also got to take that into account because our
Yeah.
skin literally beams. So it's like when people say I like your skin, if you on a hot 90 degree summer day, you might get some your skin is just so pretty.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just gleaming. It's just
Right.
gleaming. And not everybody's skin could do that.
Yeah, I agree. It really
So
depends.
low key,
No. I agree with what you're saying. It's just I don't know. Depends on
Some
the
people weird
day.
though. I don't agree with them saying that though. The person that you were in the car with, like, I love me a no,
like,
no.
like
How about you just be like, look how pretty she is.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's just kind of like, okay, like, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's really complicated to like, it's like sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's mm, like, I don't know. I don't think I like it. But,
I don't think I like. Yeah.
that could be, just me or my own thing, but I just really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Who is responsible for breaking the cycle of colorism, and you believe colorism will ever end?
Honestly, it's more of like it's honestly everybody's responsibility, and it's like more of like a parent thing too. Because if dark
Yeah.
skins are not strong enough to stand up for themselves, my mom always told me, if you don't think you an exception to the rule, who is gonna think you an exception to the rule? Honey, I'm an exception to the rule everywhere. I'm an exception to the rule at work. I'm an exception to the rule at school. Like even like just stepping out of like colorism. If you don't think you're exception to the rule for something, you just won't be. If you don't think you're exception to the rule, who will think you're exception to the rule? And I kind of applied that to color too, because some dark skins just don't stick up for themselves. And I'm like, hold on, baby, I got you. Because if you can't stick up for yourself, I definitely got a little bit of strength today to stick up for you. Because, you know, just like, and I don't blame them at the same time too, because, if people kicked you down your whole life, it's kind of hard to step out of your bubble and be like, nah, not today. If you didn't grow up like that, it's just gonna be hard for you to pull that out of you. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some practice,
Mm-hmm.
and you just might be going off on people for a week. You
Right.
just might. But yeah, like it's just I feel like it's sad that we have to just completely like be focused on sticking up for ourselves, but that's just really how it's got to be. If you want to see a change, you gotta literally instill it into people. Like you're not gonna treat me like this. You're not gonna treat me a certain type of way. It's like honestly at my jobs, like like I said, I'm kind of stepping out of colorism, but this is how you got to stick up for yourself. If you don't like the way somebody is talking to you, if you don't like the way somebody is treating you, they are going to keep treating you like that until you say something. Period. So when I'm at work and I feel disrespected by any type of thing, any type of way, I speak on it right away. If somebody is disrespecting your skin tone, you got to speak on it. Period. That's just the only way you're gonna see any type of change, because they gonna know. Even if they try it with the next dark skin, they know they're not gonna try it with you. And then
Right.
let's say the next dark skin person stick up for themselves, they just gonna know that okay, we can't be out here with our colorist views or our racist views. You can't just be out here like that. Period. I don't care if you gotta coexist, but baby, you're not finna be out here. Like I said, people are not comfortable with being racist out in the open. People are not comfortable, as they shouldn't be. You should be uncomfortable, cause baby, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable.
You gonna step?
Right? You're not gonna step. You're not gonna step. But it's like, man, I'm comfortable. People be like, "Oh, are you okay?" When people say racist things, I'm like, "Baby, I'm comfortable. I am comfortable. I'm right here and I'm comfortable." It really don't even be bothering when people say racist things, because I just be like, "Yeah, it's 2019. You need to let it go. You need to let it go. This is not the KKK times. You need to let it go."
Yeah.
Period. I feel like it is getting better. Some people don't feel like it's getting better. I mean, racism probably won't ever end because people will always have their views about other races. But I just really don't care. Like, you're not gonna touch me. Like like I said, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm good. And it's just like honestly, I kind of, in the weirdest way, I appreciate being like not sought after too much, because I know who really likes me.
That's a good
How
point.
about that?
How about
How about that? I know that people don't really, when people really like me, they like me.
yeah?
Period.
No, that's a really good point.
And
No,
some people don't know that. Like some people, yeah, some people will deal with a really horrible person just because they fit society standards. And I'm just like, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. But that's your life. Yeah. So
who
that's the one thing I can appreciate about that. Not even the one thing. That's one of the many things I can appreciate about being dark skinned. Because, baby, I know who like me.
Yeah.
because they be all out in public with me, not ashamed to be with me neither. So there's some men that'll beg to be with you. So it's just like I'm okay. I'm real comfortable with being dark skinned. So that's that on that.
Period.
Period.
Okay, Ebony. Well, I appreciate you coming here